Hey, what's going on, everybody? Servo here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a very special video for all of you. I have decided to make a video where we have collected just a bunch of information over the past week. You know, Storybook Vale has been out for just a little bit over a week, and we've learned a lot of tricks, a lot of secrets, and just a lot of hidden details that you may not have known about. I kind of compiled the more important ones into this video, and if you guys have any more, please be sure to drop them in the comment section below, and we could definitely make a part 2. But this video serves to pretty much get a lot of players caught up. I will also say there could possibly be some spoilers in here, and some of these features and things could be bugs that could get fixed within the next couple days or the next week or so. So with all that out of the way, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll make a deal with you guys. If one of these is brand new information to you, you got to subscribe. That's the deal. I don't make the rules around here. That's just the way it is. But let's jump right into it. So up first is something I didn't know. So if you go to your wardrobe, and if you have these little like snippet wings that I'm wearing right now, right? You can end up getting these. They are pretty gorgeous. I actually love the style of them. Well, on the back, they actually have a little passage that you can read, and it's a little bit from Alice in Wonderland. It starts off with, "So she sat on with closed eyes and half believed herself in Wonderland, though she knew she had but to open them again, and all would change to dull reality." So I thought that this was definitely a really cute and interesting Easter egg that they added into the game and on these wings, and that makes me just love these so much more. So that was number 1. If you didn't know, you know what to do. Let's move on to number 2. All right, for the second thing, unfortunately, you cannot time bend over here in Storybook Vale. I don't know if this is a bug or if they're going to change it in the future due to some feedback, because let's be honest, no one's happy about it. We want to be able to have all of our tools and use them in all of the valleys, and it doesn't matter which valley, like which biome you go to, you cannot time bend. And this is really unfortunate because, you know, we paid for the DLC. I would love to be able to use these items in all of the future DLCs, the royal tools. That way I can play the game how I want to play. I can farm where I want to farm. I would so love to go and farm a bunch of mist and stuff over here in the Vale. I mean, we could do it in Dreamlight Valley, so I feel like we should be able to do it in Storybook Vale. But yeah, that's number 2. Moving on to the third tip. Over here in the bind, just under the bridge, there's a secret quest for Beast. It will be a little piece of paper that you can pick up right here. I actually have it in my inventory. It's called Mysterious Page. You can pick that up. It starts up a little Beast quest line. Whoa, there he is. Oh my gosh. And then if you go all the way up here into the Library of Lore, there's another secret quest. It seems to be only 2 secret quests, and it'll be up here to the right. This one will be for Olaf. I haven't done this yet, but it'll be right over here. And it's this thing right here, Olaf's Fun Fact. Now on to the next tip. You guys may have been seeing this. I posted it, and it's also been trending around on the various socials. And it is the houses. You can actually make this autumn house into like a mansion. But you can also do this for any houses as well. So you can actually have 2 houses. And I'm including this in here again because I've seen so many comments. Players, I guess we have a lot of new players to the game as well, didn't know that you can actually have 2 houses. So how this works is you have your main house and you get it however you want. You place whatever skin you want on there. And then the other house will just be the normal premium shop house that you get. So this one is like premium shop. I would place it down, and then my actual house, you can hit R on mouse and keyboard and you can switch it to whatever. So I could have the beach house if I want, and this is my premium house that I purchased, or I can swap it to the same skin by pressing that button at the bottom there where it says replace, and then I would just switch it to the autumn house. But that's how you actually manage to get 2 houses. And then when you have both of these, you just rotate one like this, however you want. It works best like this, where you can connect them and make an autumn mansion. So very, very cool thing. I ended up using this in my DreamSnap. But like I said, you can do this for other houses, and I had it over here and set it up like that to create a beautiful DreamSnap. Now back onto the snippet wings, and I can't remember if I mentioned during tip number 1 about the lettering and stuff like this from the passage. That was a Big Sky Country over on Reddit that actually found that out. So I thought that was very interesting. Fortunately, even though they're wings, you cannot use them as a glider. If you go over to your gliding section, they actually do not pop up at all. I think this could possibly be a bug, and I do think that they're going to fix it in the future because I don't know why they wouldn't. But if you were wondering about that, it seems like it's just not working right now. Now, this next tip I saw by someone over on Facebook. I don't remember the name. It was a few days ago. And it's been a tip that's been around for a while, but I just remembered it. If you ever struggle with trying to find like the mining nodes, I know a lot of people end up putting some lanterns or something like that. But you can also do something like putting the floating lanterns, and you can actually place them above each of the mining nodes, kind of like that. That way you can find them a lot easier by just looking around, because these biomes are pretty large and there's actually not as many mining nodes. I almost feel like there's less than there is in the other valleys. But yeah, you can just look up and be like, okay, oh, there's a mining node there, there's one there, there's one there, and then, well, if that house wasn't there, you could see that there's a mining node over there, and you know, okay, there's just those 4. So if you're just starting out, man, they got to fix this. This messes with my camera angles every time. If you're just starting out, I know for a fact this is definitely going to be very helpful, especially in some of the more chaotic biomes, like over here in the Fiery Plains and even the Statue Shadow. Another great tip, if you didn't know, is you can actually build and decorate as much as you want over here inside the Library of Lore. Sometimes it's hard because of the roof, like, definitely gets in the way. You can also decorate on the bridge over here, which is really nice. You can put it whatever you want, honestly. Unfortunately, you can't dig or decorate underneath here. I was trying to do that just to see if it would prevent the rain so I could start doing some of my crops, and if I wanted to use my Miracle Grow, and unfortunately you can't dig underneath here at all. But you can decorate however you want. You can even put on full houses and stuff up here. Look at this. You could place this down here if you wanted, which is actually insane. It's just usually games like this don't allow you to do something like that, and you can decorate anywhere inside here. And if you didn't know, there's actually a back section behind the Lorekeeper here, and you could put a house back here if you wanted. I have the Arendelle Castle just sitting here, but you could put a smaller house here. You could decorate around it if you wanted. But yeah, it's an interesting feature for sure. Now, if you guys remember from the trailer that they showed off, they were showing off that the Beauty and the Beast window frame, like the window pane, was actually up here, and then you look and now there's nothing. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but this is definitely the well that they had showed off, and there is no Beauty and the Beast window frame at all up there. So I don't really know where there was maybe they were trying to throw us off. Maybe they just had the window in there as a placeholder and they decided to scrap it and change it last minute, because there really isn't many Beauty and the Beast elements here. Now let's talk about snippets. As you see, snippets are actually crazy easy to get in this game. Unfortunately, it kind of ruined the grind a little bit. So what you can do is just do these little snippet farms. It doesn't matter which variation of these lures that you craft. You just need to craft one of them. Like, you don't have to upgrade it at all. So really quickly, how these work is you craft a snippet lure, and it'll generate 3 snippets for a single lure. Now, you can spend 2,500 story magic to upgrade it where it holds 4. We don't want to do that, because instead of spending 2,500 to upgrade this for 1 extra snippet, you would be able to craft 5 more of these lures, because they only cost 500 story magic each. And then you can place them in the biomes. Again, this is just cosmetic for the 3 different styles, and they spawn 1 snippet for each one every 10 minutes. So to get 3 to spawn on this one, it's 30 minutes. If you place down a bunch, in 30 minutes, you can get all of these right here. And you can put these in any of the biomes. Not only that, you can actually place them in the normal Dreamlight Valley to get the white snippets to spawn. I have a full video on that, how you can literally just get rid of the entire snippet grind altogether. It's a longer video, so you can check that out on my channel if you would like. But yeah, go ahead and craft these. Let me show you crafting station real quick on what you need to do, because there are different variations here. You go to functional items, scroll down, and you have a few here. There's the slow trap. Do not craft the slow trap. That just slows them down in the biome. You have the repellents. This makes it where they don't spawn after you upgrade them a while. What you want to craft is any of the lure traps right here. Basic fairy lure trap, basic fall leaves lure trap. This is the requirements, and they cost 500 story magic each. So you can get any of them. The other snippets, you can get the little bird ones here or the frog ones, and you don't even have to chase them down if you want. So if you want to do it that way, and if it's easier for you, go right ahead. Now, we all know that this Mythopia biome is heavily inspired by Hercules, and you may have went down here to this mythic trial and noticed that there was an item called mussels, which is this thing right here. You can usually find them lying around over here. Mussels is actually like a little play on words. So it's kind of like how, you know how Hercules is like famously ripped, and the addition of mussels is like a playful pun on his muscles, which I thought was really cute. It's like some cheeky wordplay there. And then we ended up getting trees that have a nutmeg on them, which is like for Megara, which I thought was definitely interesting. It's kind of like in the movie where Hades always calls Megara like my little nutmeg, and it's just like her little his little like sarcastic pet name for her. So the fact that they put mussels and then they ended up putting this in there, nutmeg, I thought was very interesting. And since we're on the topic of trials, if you have trouble finding some resources, I will say this DLC, the resource respawn, is kind of broken. But at the same time, you might have to go down to the different various trials and end up collecting the resources down here, because your ancient vacuum, if you're using it, actually does not reach down here. So as you see, I have all kinds of resources down here: moss, mushrooms, and literally everything. We got flowers all the way through here. All of my stuff spawned over here rather than most of it spawning over here in the wild woods. So definitely check all of the trial areas until they end up getting that fixed. Next, I already completed all of my puzzles here, but you can actually go over here and track these puzzles like you normally would, and then it'll show you how many snippets that you actually need to be able to craft one of these pages, or to restore one of these pages, so you can end up doing it. Again, I can't really show you because I've already completed all of them, but it's definitely something that's going to be helpful. Just keep an eye out down here for the word where it says to track, and make sure you click on the page as well. One of the coolest items that you can actually end up crafting are these little floating bubbles. You may see them behind me, but you go down to your furniture section and you got these different display bubbles, and they have, you just have to collect opal and fairy bubbles. You dig up fairy bubbles over and ever after, and you get the opals from mining. So what you can do is you can make these little Mickeys if you want, like I made here. This was a nice little design I came up with, and I think that it's going to be great for dream snaps. You can place pretty much anything in there, you know, as long as it's not like larger than the bubble itself. You can also use them to display. So instead of having like these pedestals that I have over here, you can end up taking one of these smaller bubble displays and place them above a chest, and then you can place the item that you want in there. So we can place like these small ones kind of like this, and then you can go ahead and place some items. So maybe I wanted to display this in my chest, I could do that, or I could display some Brussels sprouts in there, whatever you want. Even these large flowers with the books, these book flowers, you can display them as well. Just make sure if you do put the bubble above the chest, you want it back just a little bit. That way, when you walk up there, you don't accidentally pick up the thing that's actually inside of the bubble. There's a lot more uses for this item, but I think it's going to be really great. And also, if you have dream snaps, so if you go to my current challenge, I actually ended up using them in my dream snaps. As you see, you can have a little floating candles. These ones are the atrium candles you also craft from the DLC, and they just make dream snaps look really nice. The great thing about Storybook Vale is how beautiful it is, and there is a bunch of interesting POIs, from the Hades statue to the beanstalk over here with Maleficent's castle. And keep in mind, you can use your environment to your advantage for dream snaps. So imagine how many beautiful dream snaps you're going to be able to do in front of this location and have this in the background. So this is just a little tip for that, and you can go all the way around and look for various like POIs and, you know, points of interest to have in the background to make it look even more beautiful. So definitely check out all the new areas in this DLC, and I think it's going to help you up your DreamSnap game. Now the next part is a bit of a spoiler, but you end up getting a part in Hades' quest line, his friendship quest, where he ends up talking about a code. He talks about using like a coupon code for Hades like 15 or something like that. You can actually go and redeem that code, and it'll end up giving you something that you can have in the mail. And it's the game doesn't, like, during the friendship quest, it doesn't tell you to redeem it or go to redeem it. It's like a little Easter egg, so you can just put that code in there and anyone can do it. You don't have to be part of that quest line. Put that code in and then check your mailbox for a little surprise. Now the next thing, you can actually place banners over here, but if you want to use the Dreamlight Day Banner, which is this one right here, the Dreamlight Day Banner, it says outdoor only Dreamlight Valley. So you actually can't place this one down, which has all the autumn pumpkins and everything. Something that would be great for this week's stream snap. You cannot place it over here. Now the last thing we're going to talk about is be careful when you're cooking. So like this hermit crab pasta, it shows the hermit crab, wheat, and then a spice. If you click on that and hit autofill, chances are it's going to either take like your salt or another important ingredient. Sometimes when you're doing these recipes, they'll end up taking your sea grapes instead of your other resources you probably have a lot of. So just be careful, pay attention whenever you're hitting that autofill, because it could be a dish that's not one of these. It could just be a regular dish that you would make in Dreamlight Valley, and it could pull one of your rare resources, especially the salt, because you're going to need a lot of that stuff later on. And that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, there's so much in this DLC. We could probably go on and on, but I think most of this will get you caught up with what's going on in the first week. And I can't wait to see what week 2 brings us. I hope you all have the best day ever. Seriously, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.